were fighters. If all the fights were stopped on any kind of a flash shot or anything like that, and actually I took the knee, and I remember going, shit, I'm in a bad position. So that's why I dropped my other knee out from underneath of me so that I could fall to the ground to make sure that I didn't take a second one. I didn't belly out, I didn't flatten out, and I actually tried to re-dig my underhook so that I can get a single, and then I'm looking at the referee stopping it. And then at first I thought, well, maybe I was out. Did I take a bunch of shots that I didn't see? And then after watching it, I'm like, I was conscious the whole time. Even when I stood up, I wasn't wobbled. I was completely coherent. So at best, your argument is it's a flash knockdown. I didn't know fights stopped on that. If that was the case, I never would have beaten Nogueira. I don't think we would have saw Travis Brown knock out Overeem last week. There's too many fights in our sport that are exciting that you got to let us fight. You know, I didn't sign up for a tennis match. It's nothing against Josh. He's a great fighter. He did what he had to do. I think the referee really, I think it was shaping up to be a great fight. I think the fans got robbed. I got screwed over on the fact that I trained so hard for that fight to keep up a pace that I knew I could have driven hard through for the 3 rounds. I mean, say what you will about Jackson's camp and game plan. Everybody comes in shape. I showed up the shape on the scale. I showed up shape running out there, my motivation. It sucks to do everything right and then just have the door shut on you and it's not your, you know, whatever.
The potential was there for it to be early. I understood the ref saw him just drop, and so he figured he was out. And but I come from the old school, man. I remember watching guys get mounted and just the crap pounded out of them where they easily would have been stopped by now, and then watch a guy on top, gas, get reversed and get finished. You know, so I personally, I tell him every time the ref comes back and he talks to me and he gives me these little instructions, and I always go, don't stop it. And he goes, well, you know, I go, I don't care, let me die. I'm not here to do anything but. So I understand Frank's frustration. I feel like there was no getting out of that, personally. I felt like that was the beginning of the end. But that's what I'm supposed to feel. And thank God it wasn't a tennis match because I'm not that good at tennis.
Josh Barnett was 100% winning 100% of that fight. Frank was in a bad position. There's times where I've been standing up here telling you guys, that was ridiculous how many shots the guy took. And then, you know, standing up here tonight saying that could have taken, you know, he could have let Frank take a couple more shots. Would the outcome have been different? Who knows? I don't know, but it was a great card. And then when you see one of those where, you know, we've seen times when Mir gets hit and Mir's in trouble. He's wobbly and he doesn't get up. He jumps straight up again. You know, do I think that the outcome would have been different? The way that the fight was going, it didn't look like it would have been, but who knows? We've seen crazier things. I've seen Frankie Edgar in fights that I didn't think he was going to win either. And I thought the fight was going to be over right there, but he came back. So who knows? It's just one of those things. That guy's in there. My only beef is this. The guys who do tons of fights make tons of mistakes. I've never seen this guy in my life, and he's in the co-main event. That's crazy. I understand we're in another state. They got their commission guys too, but they're not as experienced as other guys are. The guy shouldn't be reffing a co-main event fight.
You know what, man? I'm real comfortable. I envisioned this for 7 months. I mean, after I beat Donald Cerrone and they were announced that I was going to fight for a title, all that I dreamt about was getting that belt wrapped around me, and now it actually played out. I'm never letting it go to the judges again. You know, I learned that from Clay Guida. Clay Guida took me down, wrestled me, stayed on top for 3 rounds, and I lost the fight. I wasn't in trouble ever, but you know, there's rules to this. There's a way to win this without having to finish somebody. But I'm not that guy. I'm going to finish everybody I fight.
My strategy was just to bring it from start to finish, be aggressive, put the pressure on him, and take the fight where it ends. If I'm the one who's dictating, no matter where the position is, then success, I feel, is going to be in my favor. And the submission, grappling aspects always existed, but you know, wherever the fight went, I adjusted and kept going. When we created separation, I came after him with big punches, looking for KOs. When we clinched up again, then it was Greco upper body stuff, knees, elbows. It's just, you have to be a well-rounded fighter, and you have to be prepared to use everything. Frank is also a well-rounded fighter, and it's easy to say that our strength, one of our strongest aspects anyways, is our grappling and our submission game, but Frank has used a wide variety of techniques throughout his career as well. So if you really look at it as a whole, it's not that surprising that where the fight ended up.
Man, my mom, she really she sacrificed a lot for us to be where I'm at. I mean, she was a single parent, put 3 boys through, you know, Catholic school, paid for Taekwondo. I mean, as a kid growing up, I didn't really realize it, but now that I'm mature and I see what she's done for me, I mean, it's amazing. So if I could be half the parent my mom is, I'm doing a good job. And man, just all the emotions came out. I mean, I worked hard to get this belt, and she knows that. She knows I sacrificed a lot to be where I'm at, and we're very, very close, and she was very proud, and it feels good to make my mom smile opposed to cry. Yeah, I mean, this is the NFL, NBA of mixed martial arts. So winning that WEC title meant a lot to me. I was very young. I mean, I fought Ben a year and a half into the WEC, so I didn't have a lot of time, a lot of experience to fight someone like Ben Henderson. And now that we grew in the sport, he was a champ doing his thing out there. I mean, this guy's a great champion. I mean, he was very respectful, never does dumb things out there. Very respectful guy. And now we're both in the UFC, and I win this belt. It's amazing, man. It's something I really tried hard to do, and I finally accomplished it. No, I mean, jiu-jitsu is my thing. I mean, I'm a mixed martial artist. I mean, I'm good everywhere, and I think a lot of people forgot that I have good jiu-jitsu off my back. I'm always looking to attack. I got to secure the position. I thought he was gonna rip his arm out, like pull it out, and I got deep enough for I had his elbow nice and tight. He tried to roll with it. I found the angle, and that was it. I heard him say tap, and I let go.
And Ben, was there a mistake that you can point to that you made in there, or was it just a great play on his part?
No, it was a good play by Pettis on getting the arm lock. He turned it one direction to go for the shoulder, to go for an angle. I turned to defend that, went right into the elbow, went right into the proper angle for it.
My brother was in my corner tonight. He's 20 years old. He's starting a career in mixed martial art himself. So I really try to be a good role model for him. I mean, I've been doing Taekwondo my whole life, so I understand the importance of martial arts, the martial arts side of this. So I like to be a good role model for everybody. And my brother's looking up to me. He's following my footsteps. So we shared this moment. Duke Rufus, a guy that's been pretty much changed my life. I met him at 18. He's just some young kid walking in his gym, and now I'm a UFC world champion. So me and Duke have a huge history together. I look at him like a big brother, a father. I mean, he's shared a lot with me. Coach Kush, all of my coaches, all of my guys in my corner. My mom was obviously there, and very emotional. I mean, it hasn't set in yet. I mean, it's surreal. It's in front of me right now.
And what happened with the knee injury? It sounds like you've suffered something happened to the knee.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet. Henderson threw a kick, and I went to check with my left leg, and he hit right in the crook of the knee. So it was I felt it go back and forth. So I don't know what happened yet. I stepped on it. It was hurting a little bit. So when he had me on the cage, I was going with one leg down because it was starting to lock up. So yeah, I'm not sure what happened yet. We'll find out pretty soon. I'll get an MRI, see what happens.
Which knee?
Left knee.
Left knee.
Opposite of the injury. It wasn't the injury that I had with Aldo. That was the right LCL. This is the left knee.
Is it almost a case where another snake bit thing? Like you can't get over this type of stuff?
No, I mean
you're a champion, and
when you're fighting the best in the world, injuries are going to happen. I mean, Ben Henderson was the champ for a reason. This guy's a true challenger, true warrior. I mean, I wasn't expecting to come out of this fight untouched. I mean, I'm glad my face isn't messed up, but this guy's a warrior over here. So of course I'm going to leave with some injuries.
So now what? Now what do you do?
I go back and just get better, and that's all. I'm 26 years old. I haven't hit my prime yet. I have so much to learn, and I have the right guys around me teaching me.
And how does life change as a champion?
I don't know yet. We'll find out. I mean, I'm sitting here with the belt. Don't know yet. It feels the same right now.
For Anthony, too, please, congratulations. I just wanted to ask you about calling out Jose Aldo. Was that something just spur of the moment, or ever since that fight fell apart, was that something you've been thinking about, another opportunity you'd like to have?
No, I'm here to prove that I'm the best in the world. Anybody around my weight class that's contemplating coming to 55 or even at 45. His coach said I faked an injury. I would never fake an injury. I'm not afraid to fight anybody, and that's what that was all about. I mean, if he wants to fight me, let's make it happen. If the fans want it, the UFC wants it, I'm ready.
You mentioned, I think you said, is it my belt or yours? So are you even willing to go down to fight him?
I mean, whatever it takes. I'm here to make the good fights happen. Like I said, I want to prove that I'm the best in the world. Anywhere around my weight class, and whatever happens, happens.
Wait your turn, Daggy. I'm next.
Oh, I'm like, what? Yeah, man, I'll leave that to Chad. I got one, I'm good.
Jose Aldo's coach actually tweeted that if you vacate your title and drop to 145, they will accept the challenge.
I'm not vacating my title. Obviously, I just won this thing. I'm not vacating.
And his coach doesn't make those decisions.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's calling out.
His coach didn't love the fight the first time. You know what I mean? So, but Aldo did it. Aldo stepped up and he took that fight.
And obviously, the last time we were in this position, it was a lot more of an emotional moment for you. You seem pretty calm and at peace right now. So can you talk about kind of how you're feeling?
Oh, I did my crying and blubbering backstage, so I figured you guys have enough film and footage of me crying, so I was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and do that backstage so you guys can't, film me and then play it over and over, so.
Anthony, did you fighting in your hometown, we always hear about guys having, the hometown distractions and a lot of, family and friends asking you for tickets, things along those lines. How were you able to balance, all the responsibilities, and especially with this being your world title shot?
My grandpa had 17 kids, and his dad had 23 kids. So I'm used to have family around the whole time, man. Everybody's asking for stuff all the time. It's nothing new. I stayed at my house the whole time. It felt very comfortable. I mean, it was fun. So I made it enjoyable. This is the highlight of my life, biggest moment of my life. So I'm not gonna worry about what's wrong with it. I'm gonna make it just the best time I could. My grandpa's still going. I have a niece that's like 1.
I don't want them to get around any girls that I'm around. They might just get by association.
This question's for Josh. Josh, I just want to get your thoughts on returning to the UFC after 11 years.
I hate it. Rah, 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 rabble, rabble, rabble. Nah, it's cool, man. It's great. I love to fight, period. So you could just have put this out in a parking lot like we used to do and go at it, and I'd still be happy to go out there and try to bash somebody's brains in. But the non-Viking Neanderthal side of me, even though that's two different things, enjoys the fact that I started with the company right before it turned over, and people ask me about being in the UFC, and I'm like, I remember when this thing was just purchased, and we were running around Japan like a whole bunch of idiots all night long. It was me, this guy, John Peretti. He nibbled on Jeff Munson's ear when he gave him a hug. That was funny. And John McCarthy and Lorenzo, and this was a whole new thing. And I go from last fight at UFC 36 in 2002 all the way back again here in 2013 in UFC 187,000. So it's been a long journey, but I think the grand scheme of it all is that the people that believed in me and trained me from the get-go put the right time and effort into me, and the staying power is here. There is no other fighter really at 16 years in this game that's still out there being in the top 10 as consistently, and I'm glad to be a part of it. And I'm also glad to start from where I did in the dark ages and then end up here in this fantastic turnaround that the UFC is now and where the sport is.